welcome everyone. I have to admit, I'm surprised. I expected maybe 2 or 3 people here this morning, this afternoon, so it's encouraging to see this many people. My name is Joe Merlino. I work for Untitled Concrete up in North Boston, Massachusetts. I'm a customer. Andres Cano's my friend and implementation manager back from 3 years ago when we originally implemented Integra in 5 qubits. We also run Apex for our aggregate and asphalt business, so we're a pretty Command Alkon based company. And I have to first thank Andres in front of everybody for not only becoming a friend, but really helping us with our company lead the process of implementing 5 qubits and kind of reining me in when I got a little overexcited about wanting to do everything all at once so quickly. You got Joe, calm down, we've got plenty of time. And it's a testament to when you work this closely with people that you really develop genuine friendships. We had a chance to have dinner last night. Just by show of hands, how many people are actually running 5 qubits right now, and how many people are running it right now? And how many people are thinking about it? Okay. This is basically a talk. Andres approached me about talking to some customers about our experience with implementing 5 qubits. So this is a lot of this content is taken from a recent driver meeting we had with our 50 drivers actually in September. And going over where we've been with 5 qubits and TrackIt, where we hope to go. So I guess this is as much a story as Untitled Concrete's experience with what we've done. So if you have any questions, please just jump right in. I think we'll have plenty of time for questions at the end, any ideas. We're able to pull up our live instance of TrackIt, and it's 3 o'clock in Boston, so I'm sure we've got some trucks on the road. I'm joined today by our operations manager, Mark Hemingway, right here in the red shirt, and our concrete division general manager, Wayne Tarr. Both very experienced guys. Mark's really the second level 5 qubits in Integra champion behind me in the company. So I'm glad that they're here today to join us for this. Do I have to turn this on, Andres?
If not, oh, you know what? Hold on. I'll just switch it. Damn it, don't turn it.
So you read in the session again. This is basically our story. How we improve delivery and efficiencies in customer service. We have reduced operating costs. I'll talk a little bit about what we did to try to gain buy-in with our drivers, which for those of you who are into this software is probably the biggest challenge, I think. How many people have drivers put pieces of duct tape or cardboard over their devices in the trucks? Yeah, exactly. So we've seen some of that. And that's my quote that I think, I'm corporate controller, but I have IT responsibility for our company, and I really see that this is one of the most effective pieces of software we use in our business. So I'll talk a little bit about delivery efficiency and customer service. I'll throw it out to Mark and Wayne a little bit. Talk a little bit about the areas where I think we've actually seen tangible cost savings and reduced operating costs. And again, a little bit about the driver buy-in, how we had to really change policies and procedures in the dispatch office to align with what the software did. And then, again, why I think, in my opinion, this is one of the most effective tools that we have in our toolbox. So a little bit about Benevento Concrete. It's now actually a 4th generation company, started in 1934, just 15 miles north of the Boston, Massachusetts. We run 2 concrete plants and 2 asphalt plants and have a large stone quarry. The current owner, his 2 sons are now in the business actively. One, Michael, his son, working with Wayne in concrete, and the other one is more of a production-oriented garage repair guy. So it's really truly a 4th generation business. In our concrete business, we turn over about $25 million a year. Wayne, 200,000 yards, 40 trucks. 5 or 6 mechanics in the garage, so it's a pretty good sized business. We're non-union, so we didn't have some of the union challenges with union drivers that we implemented 5 qubits and TrackIt. And again, we supply public state specification concrete, a lot of commercial work, and Wayne's really got a keen focus on securing and keeping the residential customers in line, because at some point, we all know the ebbs and flows and the markets will turn and you go back to those residential homes. And again, just a couple of shots from our website, and I like that one because I believe we really do have a spirit across our company, but also in our concrete business that really, all of our, whether it's the drivers or the dispatchers, their priority every day is to make the customer successful. I worked for a multinational corporation for 25 years, and to go back to a family-run business and see the owners' commitment to customer service and making sure that people value the customers is really something that we've got a very strong culture on. But just a quick picture about our website. Go ahead, Andres, thank you. So building buy-in, I'm sure you've all had to deal with this as you did your implementation. The easy part for us at Benevento was actually making the investment. Charlie Benevento, the owner, 3 years ago now sent me the world of concrete and said, Joe, we need better concrete technology. We were running Apex for our concrete dispatch, which if anyone's ever tried that, it's very challenging. We had Fleetmatic software, GPS software, which basically showed us, Mark, you were there in those days, a dot on the map. No statusing, no directions, no messaging. We had 45 or 50 cellular phones and a barrel full of broken ones and cords laying around. So we really have, the owner made the investment in this product. So we chose at the same time to implement Integra and 5 Cubits for our concrete business. I came back, I met the team out there, wrote up a paper, presented it to the owner, and he said, Joe, let's do it. So the business analysis part was something that I led, but it was really interesting because it wasn't what I wanted to do, it was what Mark wanted to do, what fit for the truck drivers, could they adapt to the technology, kind of answering all of those questions. And where my friend Andres came in was saying, Joe, you can eventually get to all this, but pick the little pieces that will give you value first. And one of the smartest things we did, I think, was we bought 5 Cubits, we installed it in 15 standing stone trucks and 45 ready-mix trucks at that point, and we set up a basic status loop. We trained the drivers, and we just let it be. Let it kind of grew from sort of August until January 1st. And then we turned on Integra Dispatch. So the drivers were familiar with statusing. We didn't quite have the status loop right. I think even until today, that never really changes. We look at how to make things as efficiently as possible in the status loop. But the business analysis was critically important for us to understand about not biting off more than we could chew from the beginning. And the commitment, I was looking at these slides up in my run 15, 20 minutes ago, and that really should be reversed. It should be commitment from the management level through the dispatch office down to the drivers. And we never had a problem with commitment. We brought the drivers in, of course, it's GPS technology, it's Big Brother, and what's wrong with the one you have. And we continue to remind ourselves about how important commitment is, driver training, dispatch training, the evolution of the way that we're using TrackIt. And certainly, I think our project has been a great success. We continue to learn new things at conferences like this one, and Mark's fantastic in dispatch. I've got this problem, how can we solve it? And we work together to add a message or develop a new geofence or something like that. But I think we've been wildly successful, and we still have a ways to go with that. So this is good, Andres, thank you. As I said, we had to kind of think about what were some of our operating policies and procedures, not only in the dispatch office, but in the garage, and kind of, this was taken from the recent meeting with the drivers, but really developing transparency with our drivers on, here's what we're doing, and to the point of foil over the camera. We stood up in a meeting with 40 drivers and guys, we could use this technology, we're not, we don't have any plans to, and if we do, want to try, we're going to tell you. And that's been our whole thing with the drivers, to just be completely transparent with them. So again, we reiterated just in September our commitment to driver training. We've hired, probably 10 new drivers this year. And so we're always in that evolution of driver training. It takes a lot of commitment to do that. And I actually enjoy doing that, just to show these guys how to do this and get their feedback.
And the newsletters, I think the newsletter.
Yeah, thanks, Andres. what we did as we started with our implementation, when we refined things or changed things, I developed a little bit of a 5 cubits newsletter where every week if we change something in the status, we combine 2 statuses. And we added a message to give dispatch some feedback so they can provide better customer service. We did a newsletter. Some of them we sent in their paycheck, if it was 3 or 4 things, some of them we posted in the driver trailer, but again, it was that constant communication with the drivers to try to get their buy-in, which is all of you know who are running. It's really critically important. We're working on developing a GPS technology that'll become a part of our company handbook, more along the lines of interfering with devices. We didn't take the tinfoil off of the guys that don't believe us and think we're going to record them. But I felt it was important to really make the drivers understand as a part of their company handbook that, this is a company equipment, it's technology. 3 or 4 months in, I had a standing stone driver say, Joe, my device doesn't work. And wouldn't status, and wouldn't track, and we weren't getting reports. And every other driver's work. And the mechanic in the garage pulled his device apart and he unscrewed the cables in the back. So, and I can't imagine that there's anyone right now who has to run across something akin to that in their business as well. So that's another important part of having that be a part of our policy. And look, I'm in accounting and finance and IT, so Mark and Wayne really set the rules that the guys abide by. And it's a constant push and pull, and it's a healthy debate back and forth about what we should do, what we want to do, and Wayne's a very strong defender of the drivers, respecting communication with them, and does a good job at slowing me down when I want to do more and more, and Wayne's like, no, slow and steady. So it's a good back and forth, I think. But this was a big one here, intentionally changing statuses incorrectly. We found, as I'm sure you guys all have, in any set of drivers over the number of 20, there are going to be a couple of people that are difficult. And you make a change and you evolve your status loop, or you communicate in training, this is how we want you to do this, so that everybody understands what the expectation is. We measure that expectation to see who's meeting it, and then it's Wayne and Mark's job to go to the drivers who aren't meeting and kind of explain, hey, this is kind of what you're doing. But I'll tell you, it's like a cat and mouse game sometimes with drivers. You refine one thing and you figure it out, and then they figure out another way to manipulate the timing. I don't suggest we've got 2% of our 40 drivers like you want. But it's something when we first started, we had a lot of it, and we had to really talk to, and discipline 1 or 2 guys as well. In Massachusetts, on the last line, I don't know if any of you people work in Massachusetts or in the market area, but we're faced with the Massachusetts prevailing wage law. We're non-union, so we provide concrete and asphalt and sand and stone to a publicly funded job. We're required to basically gross up our drivers' pay who make, 24, 23 bucks an hour regular work. When they're delivering to a public job that falls under the Massachusetts Department of Labor prevailing wage, those guys make $52 an hour. But it's just for that time on that job. So you can imagine, we're trying to do what we can do with geofence and automatically trigger a ride job, depart job to accurately record their time on that job and gross up their pay for that rate. We've had some challenges with drivers hitting a ride sooner and hitting depart later and extending that load time. We've had, talked a little bit about our payroll integration, but we've had some real success with 5 Cubits custom payroll export file to really help us automate that whole piece. But it's a bit of a unique thing that we have up in Massachusetts as a non-union company that 5 Cubits has helped us a great deal with. Go ahead, Andres, thank you. This was a good one. We had developed early on that we had to communicate to the drivers who to go to when you had a problem. At the beginning, it was me because I was the guy, and it was dispatch, but they're busy talking to customers, and it was kind of my project to lead. I would take the phone calls from the drivers. Say, my problem with this, my GPS fixes are off, my Zello doesn't work, my radio is broken, and what we had decided to do really is develop almost a group of what I call champions, people who really have the ball in certain areas. So we've communicated that to our drivers as recently as September. So, they know I've got the bigger picture responsibility for keeping things working, evolving the technology, understanding and taking advantage of some new ideas that drivers might bring to us, which, Mark, you can attest to. I think we've had a lot of drivers give us some real positive feedback and ideas to evaluate how to implement. Justin and Mark are our guys in the garage that are responsible for the installation of the devices, maintenance. We have 32 VMX units in the trucks, and we've just trialed 8 brand new RDT OBC combinations, so we've kind of split the hardware, trying to figure out what direction we're going to go. I think I've decided today that we're going to move the whole fleet to the new Samsung tablets, so that'll help us with what we want to do, and I've got a slide about where we're hoping to go shortly. And Michael Benevento, the owner's son, who Wayne's really kind of taken under his wing and teaching him a lot about the industry. Wayne's been in the industry his whole career, and is teaching this young man not only the sales aspect, but the dispatch aspect, and he's been very helpful for me, so I'm not climbing up and down the trucks all day. But I still enjoy it. The driver hits me in, I listen to the Zello all day in my office, and I drive my accounting colleagues crazy when they hear driver chatter. But I like it when they call me and say, Joe, I'm right outside, can you help me? You know, and I'll bop right down and jump right in that truck and fix him or help him if I can. I'll say, no, go get your next load and we'll do it tonight. But that was a big thing for us, and I think it's worked, and I think having communicated that to the drivers so they know who to go to when they have a problem really helped us out quite a bit. Next, Andres, thanks. Transformation. Actually, I think that was the theme. Kristen, that was the theme of the conference a couple of conferences ago, wasn't it? Transformation was the theme of the Command Alkon conference, I thought 2 or 3 years ago. This software has transformed our business, it really has. It's taken us from, we think we know your truck's going to be there in 15 minutes to your truck's a half a mile away. I was on a job site a couple of Fridays ago on the new mixers with the new RDT OBC combination, and I literally watched a customer go up to the driver who was at the end of discharging his load and said, "Do you know where the next truck is?" And the guy said, "Hold on, I can tell you." And that, if you think about it, that saved the customer from calling Mark's dispatch office at 2 o'clock when he's lining up the next day. He answered the customer's question right there. You know, for me, to witness that was really cool for me, kind of just being my baby and bringing it up from the beginning. Our transformation really started with trying to measure our progress. Again, I thank my friend Andres for slowing us down at the beginning when we were trying to figure out what was the low-hanging fruit that we wanted to do first. I thought it was a great recommendation that we install the devices, we set up a basic status loop, and we let the drivers try it. There were no ramifications. We didn't plug in payroll, and I think that gave us a chance to get buy-in from drivers on how it worked. It helped us identify the drivers that needed training. And in a way, it also, I think, helped us identify the drivers who didn't want to do it and were finding reasons to not do it. And I think it helped us focus on training those drivers even a little bit more. We use it weekly, and Mark, I'm sure, uses it daily to measure the progress that the drivers are making out on the road. In project implementation, again, we didn't bite off too much at the beginning. And I think that was probably the best advice we ever got. But it was a long process for us, and I don't think we'll ever be finished. You know, I learned 3 things Monday morning in the TrackIt workshop that, you know, I want to go up to my laptop upstairs and change the status loop right now. And Wayne and Mark are like, Joe, settle down, you know, talk to the drivers and do some driver training. But I don't think you ever really finish with this. There's always something new you can do. I think these conferences are a wonderful avenue to learn how other people do things, and just, you know, talking to a friend that you met at breakfast or someone that you might meet after this session. How do you do this? Or how do you do that? Is a part of it. But our implementation went very smoothly. It progressed at manageable rates. We added features as we needed to. We didn't add features because we thought it was cool. We added it because dispatch recommended it or drivers recommended it. And training. I don't think you ever finish training drivers. I think some drivers are, you know, not computer literate and you know, not good at this. And I would always say to drivers, whether it's a brand new guy or the number 1 priority guy in our fleet, if you're willing to learn we're willing to train them. We're constantly trying to get guys trained, and we've got driver champions who draw our drivers, train other drivers, so it's not, a guy from the main office training drivers, it's his peers. And we're going to do more training over the winter. We did training in September, and I think we've been pretty successful with that. Communicating to the drivers is important because all you people who are running the software now know you have the responsibility with this investment to train the drivers. And again, adjustment and fine tuning. I don't think you're ever done. There's always a better way, a new way to do something. Again, Mark's fantastic in the dispatch office with setting up these messages for the drivers to use, streamline communication between the drivers and dispatch. I heard some drivers say in our meeting in September, I called dispatch from the Zello at 2 o'clock and no one picks up or answers me. It's because I'm on the phone. So you're kind of letting the drivers understand what goes on in the dispatch office as well. So that communication certainly goes both ways. But we'll change some things literally next week. We'll change some things in our status loop. We'll automate a geofence, and we've got a couple of things that we literally learned about today. We got this working. This is where I think we really have improved our customer service and our delivery efficiency. It's hard to explain to a driver why you're maintaining and publishing a list of, at plant times or loading mixing times in your yard. And so we've done that, I think, slowly, but we're able now to talk about and evaluate what we want to measure ourselves by and then kind of create those metrics and those reports. I'm still really the main guy behind the scenes running the reports for the driver manager and for Mark and Wayne when we have an issue with the owners. And again, aligning what the business requirement is with the technology. I'm sure you all know how deep this technology goes, and aligning with a particular solution in your business to make your dispatch office better, your customer service better, or the driver's interaction with the customer better. And I think we've done a pretty good job at that. And again, I touched on policy earlier. We're non-union drivers, and we've got a good bunch of guys, but one of the bullets in Phil's talk this morning before his Domino taxi cab example was hiring, retaining drivers. We have that problem in our area. We've hired 10 drivers this year. We trained them, and we've done very well. Our new drivers are well trained. It's hard to find really good, experienced drivers, so you've got to train these guys. Not only on, we've got bus drivers and other truck drivers, so you've got to teach them the concrete side of the business, but we've got to teach them the technology side. And I think we've done pretty well. And really building a team that understands what we're trying to do with the system. It's not Big Brother. We're not, tracking minutes. We're not asking you questions. Mark, you've got a couple of points to say now when we talked about that, but how do you see that we've improved delivery efficiency from the dispatch office?
Well, it actually gives us a metric to measure our customers. So we know their habits as well. They're going to be 10 to 15 minutes late before they start work. We have a way of measuring that. We can look at our customers and say, these two customers have to be loaded at the same time. This customer is always ready when we get there. This customer never is ready when we get there. This helps to distinguish customers. But it also gives us measurable results too. With the KPIs, the travel times. It's just a way to measure all the metrics that we need to measure.
Yeah, Mark's very experienced in the dispatch office, and he said to me, Joe, I want to figure out a way to understand and get metrics literally right now what's happening out there, but I don't need to send that to the driver. I said, okay, well, explain to me what you're trying to do. And Mark conceived of 3 or 4 standard messages that are alerts. One is delayed start. So Mark conceived of an alert that kicks off, doesn't go to the driver, but when upon arrived job, if there's a space between arrived job and begin pour, that pops up as an alert that every dispatcher sees. And Mark, as the manager of that group, then keep an eye on that guy. If he's still there, he makes a decision to pick up the phone and say, hey, what's going on in the job site? And all right. Another one is pouring too long.
We can slow the pour down or speed it up. So it does help make decisions on the fly.
It does. And what I think we've learned from that example is that helps Mark manage the rest of his day. So if he knows he's not getting that truck back, he's got the rest of these deliveries to do that day. If he knows he's delayed, he can move it around. If he doesn't, he's expecting that guy back and he's not back. So I think we've really picked up quite a few delivery efficiencies in that regard. Go ahead, Andres. I'm the financial guy at our company. We'll spend this year $1 million on R&M, on mixers. Our fleet age is probably, it was 13, we're probably down to 11 and a half, maybe 11 years average age of our fleet. We're about half and half right now, Wayne. Aren't we new trucks and older trucks?
Yeah, we have about 23 newer ones from the last 3 years. And our older trucks, one thing I can say is Charlie does spend a lot of money on repair and maintenance. His name is on something. He likes to do it with us. We're fortunate enough to have a lot of good people, but even though the trucks are older, truck 521 is an example.
Yeah,
It's
it's great.
We take it to a touch and truck event. People thought it was a brand new truck, and it's 20 years old. So we spend a lot of time and money to give our people the tools to do the job correctly. And if I may interject on something, I'm fortunate enough to have a Joe Lino and Mark. They're computer savvy. I'm a cool man, I'm 42, I'm technically challenged. I just learned how to text and I'm learning on my iPhone. And I guess technology is out of my comfort zone. So as I get older, I'm learning to get better. But my goal is, to stay focused on the vision. And I think what happens a lot of times is natural tendency is everyone has Facebook and everything. So when you go to purchase a software like this, and it comes with a camera, and people say, hey, wait a minute, they're taping out cameras and everything. I say, well, wait a second, I have a company vehicle. And I know if you want to put one in my car, and I thought there was a camera in there, I would have it all in my car. So it's all perception. The way you got to deliver 5 qubits, in my opinion, is it's a customer service software. And you really have to tell that to the drivers. Include the drivers in meetings. Keep them in communication. Tell them what's going on. I don't like surprises. Mark doesn't like surprises. Joe doesn't like surprises. The owner doesn't. And one thing our industry tends to do is let's beat the drivers up, right? Let's fire them because they did this. Let's do this. And I always say they touch your customer 80% of the time. So without drivers, there's no customers, so we don't have jobs. It's easy to say, oh, you got to deal with them, they're like children, and they're doing the best they can with the game. So I really think that you need somebody like Joe that's a financial guy that understands IT and software with somebody like Mark who's IT savvy much more than I am, but understands the business. If you don't have 2 people working hand in hand like that, you will not succeed because you got to have one person that can say, hey Joe, what about this? Because I know this. And Joe say, well, I can do that. So I kind of sit back in the foreground and I'm good at telling somebody to type the report, but I'm learning myself.
Right.
So as a general manager, I tell people, we're gonna, you might want to discipline the driver, but I'm the GM and I don't know it yet. So until I'm up to speed, I don't feel that I should be as harsh on people. It's not that I'm not saying who I am at work, but I just look at it, it's a learning curve.
That's interesting. And actually, it raised a question in my mind. Just by show of hands, how many people who are in 5 qubits now have, an accounting or an IT professional who's led that project? And how many people have actually led their implementation project from dispatch manager level, operations manager? Yeah. So it's an interesting paradigm. As Wayne said, we were lucky that, Mark and I work very well together. We've known each other for a long time, and he knows the dispatch world. I know the technical side of this, and it was a good pairing for us, and we got lucky. But back to operating costs. I mean, we're saving minutes, and minutes is money. That's the name of our game. I think just the awareness of the drivers that dispatch knows how long they're taking to get to the job site, and knows that we can see if he stopped in front of the subway. Look, the driver's more than entitled to get his lunch, but if he pulls in with the load on behind Home Depot and he sits there for half an hour, Mark sees it. So that translates to cost savings. And external factors in process, this is an interesting one. You know, we all in the concrete business get customers who call us up and yell and scream, and you're late, you're late, you're late. And 3 or 4 months ago now, the owner got a call from one of our bigger customers. He said, screwed me yesterday, you said you'd do this, you said you'd do that, you totally left me in the lurch. I had the whole crew there waiting, and I got a text sitting after dinner from the owner, Joe, I want you to pull all the 5 cubits, literally, from the owner, I want you to pull all the 5 cubits information for these 3 customers for every load yesterday. I said, Charlie, first thing, like, get in early, do my thing. Sit down with the owner, who genuinely understands this, and the owner of our business is less of a computer guy than Wayne is. But he logs into 5 cubits, he tracks the truck, he knows how to run a status breakdown report, he knows how to know, see how long the guy is in a PW geofence that he shouldn't be, and he's waiting and he hasn't poured yet. But to the point about external factors, the process, and the customer, I brought all this information over. Our general sales manager happened to come in, and he had gotten a rationing from a customer on another job, so we sat down and we looked at it. And as it turned out, in virtually every load of, I think there were 14 loads that were in question across 3 customers. In every load, we were right. And the owner called these guys and said, look, I'm looking at all the delivery times. You held the truck for this long, and that screwed us up the rest of the day. And it was really, you know, we only did one thing wrong. So the process with the customers now, I think 5 cubits for us has almost become almost a defense tool with the customers, because you're always wrong and guilty right from the charge. Right? You guys and people in the concrete business know that. But to see the owner actually be able to take this information, digest these reports, and, you know, call the customer and say, look, you know, we pulled up all this from our GPS system, and you held the truck for this long, and he literally had the times and read off the times for 8 loads to a customer. I think that customer must have got off the phone and said, holy shit, excuse me, I didn't expect he was going to do that. And it was the owner that called him. So there is an external factor in the process with the customers, I think. Dispatchers are better able to tell the customers when they're going to get their next load. I think the drivers are now tuning in and being able to help the customer. The example I said a little bit earlier, you know, I aspire one day to go to paperless tickets and to snap that tablet off and have the guy on the job site sign that tablet. Wayne's already pumped the brakes on me once on that. It's so slow and steady as we go, but that's kind of where I see it going. You know, Ken's example this morning with his fair analogy, with focus and anticipate and initiate, and I can't remember what the R was. What was it? Response. It is a great thing, because I'm trying to anticipate how to take this to the next level 2 years from now, and with the owner's support, and, you know, coming back and saying, Charlie, I want 70 grand to buy all new devices. I got that money in the life. And it just shows his investment and his commitment by all. Like I said at the start, we never had a problem with that. We didn't have to write a management report and a budget request. The owners put a lot of faith in the 3 of us to make sure we continue to evolve with this. And for a medium-sized family business, I really think we're on the cutting edge with the technology we have in our concrete business. End result, go ahead, Andres. Back to customer service, certainly the dispatch office is far better able to communicate with customers what they can do and what they can't do. We try to bite off as much as we can chew. We've had some, 1,600-yard days, which is big for us in 2 plants. But certainly improved communication, no doubt more accurate delivery information. Our drivers have had some problems, Andres, how many years? We've had some problems with the subject non-market. I think part of those problems were getting the settings configured the right way. I'm researching whether we should go back to Google and forego the weight of the vehicle and the height under the bridges, and let the professional driver know that if Google's telling him to go, that he's got to be aware of some of the things that Sergeant Nav's supposed to make him aware of that I think hasn't worked for us. But I think our geocode rate for every ticket that we produce is probably in the high 80%. 80% of our tickets, 85% of our tickets are geocoded, either at the job level from Integra, pass through to the ticket into the driver's device. But I have to admit, I still cringe, because I'm out in the yard walking around, and I'd say of our 40-odd mixers, there's probably 15, perhaps 20 where those old school drivers still have their Garmin on the dash. You know, and that's something that I've done, gets better at, or we've done, gets better at. And again, with that point, I think accurate delivery information, that's back to time and minutes and money, is really what it is. We had a quick story, we had a driver got his ticket, hit the navigation button, pulled out of the yard and took a left and drove up to Salem, Massachusetts, where the witch trials were, driving around looking for Main Street. The ticket said Salem, New Hampshire, which is just north over our border. So those are the types of things where had the driver follow the GPS, which we did geocode correctly on, he'd have gone to Salem, New Hampshire, which was 20 minutes up the road, instead of went to, took him 40 minutes to get to Salem, New Hampshire, morning traffic, drove around for a while, and we throw that road away. So $1,000 gets dumped out back in the quarry and turned into recycled concrete. Enhanced system integration, we have had tremendous success thanks to Kristen and her team and Integra with our ticket integration. We've had no problems from day one. We've had some hiccups on the sand and stone side of our business with ticket integration. Is anybody doing ticket integration with Apex 6 into 5 qubits? Has it been a struggle for you with using dispatch orders and dispatch schedules?
No.
We got some work to do there, but the Integra side of this was exactly as it was described and sold to us. We've had some tremendous success. It was a huge part of our transformation in the dispatch office, I think. And again, the system integration was critical for us because we use command batch, and that prints our ticket, so to be able to get that information, let the driver know on his tablet that he's pouring sidewalks or he's pouring a casting or whatever he's the wall. It's just more information that we're getting. And then again, information at your fingertips. I do a lot of work kind of trying to turn, you know, that old paradigm of you've got data and then you've got information, but the real jewel in that is to turn the data and the information into knowledge. That's what I'm trying to do now. I think Wayne's overwhelmed coming from a multinational that ran Command Series, where he knew how to go into Command Series and get every report that he needed. And I think we're all struggling a little bit with Integra's reporting side. We do pretty well on the 5 qubit side, but trying to match up the Integra information with the 5 qubit information. But I know the Integra team is going to help us out to get better at that. We'll maybe look at different tools. Is anybody running command performance on top of Integra? Thinking about maybe that or some type of business intelligence solution or something like that to make it easier for us to get out the data that means something to Wayne, to the owner, and to Mark. And I asked Kristen in the session if she could help us with that just this morning. But again, I'm trying to make it really to be almost a self-service information portal. We've got a driver's manager who's a fantastic concrete guy. A little better than Wayne on the computer, but not quite up to Mark's speed yet. So I'm working with him very closely to try to teach him how to really run a status breakdown report. And then he's the guy that takes that information to the driver. You know, I started out the first year where I would literally, on a Monday, I would print out the status breakdown report for 55 drivers. And I would almost be like a kindergarten, first grade teacher correcting a spelling test with a red Sharpie. Not to be a stickler to the driver, but to teach him, look, on this day you did this wrong. Here's what you should have done. You want me to step, literally have his tablet right there, you want me to step through the status loop to show you how to do that. So certainly information at your fingers is an important point for us. We can get better in that regard, I think. But what we're working on. I'm not sure we'll do that now, Andres. If you want to, we've got 15 minutes or so, maybe open it up for some questions. Anybody? Anything? I'll ask myself a question then. We had a friend I met on Monday who the question was asked in the tracker workshop where he's got the quarry down back where the guys go to dump their concrete, and there's always 2 or 3 drivers down there, and they're taking a nap or they're having coffee, and you just don't know where those guys are. And they overheard him, and that's great. I said, let me show you. I had my laptop, I probably on the tracker. We actually set up Our trucks that they're dumping leftover concrete literally drive into our geofence to arrive plant, come down the hill and hit our at plant geofence within the plant site. They drive through the at plant geofence, then break that, and then within literally 50 feet, enter the quarry haul road to drive down the quarry a half a mile and go to the area where they dump out the concrete. And we were struggling with that too. Where's this guy? We don't know where it is. And with Mark's help, we conceived a tooth. Upon finished pour, we inserted in our status loop a question that says, any leftover concrete? If he says yes, he's then able to say, I've got 2 yards on, or I've got 4 yards on, or I've got half a yard. Mark's even taking that a step further where he's got canned messenger where he tells the driver, when he sees it pop up on the screen, make blocks. Go to Georgetown and load over that, or dump it. But we actually took it to another level where we conceived of a clean out concrete geofence that starts 100 yards down away from the plant down the quarry road. So when those drivers, you all are familiar with the status, so he literally drives in the gate, arrives plant, comes down, is at plant, departs plant, and then literally within, how long does that take to drive, Mark? 15, 20 seconds, right? And then enters a concrete clean out geofence, that's the haul road down to our quarry, covers the area where he's gonna dump. And the driver never touches a button because it's all geofences. And he never actually sees the status change because by the time he comes down the hill and it arrives back at the plant, it skips right through at plant to par plant and puts him right into clean out automatically. And Mark sees that status, which is, I forget what color, but right on his panel, he knows there's 3 trucks down there cleaning up. And I hear him on the radio all day, guys, I'm not done down there, and he's back up here because he's trying to get the next load out to the customer.
Not only that, you can set time limits on status. So if he's back there for more than 12 minutes, you can send a care message to him. Hey, can you come on up front? We need you to hurry up a little bit. Or I can get down and call him. Hey, you're going to be there for a while. Is it excess cleaning or, you just eating your lunch back here? So you can build in times within statuses that if the driver does not continue on the next status before that estimated time, either I get a message, and the driver get a message, or something like that. So you can really not put your thumb on the driver, but you have more control over what's going on.
Are you using anti-diagnostics?
Excuse me?
Are you using anti-diagnostics?
Well, good question. We're not. We did buy the hardware. We bought the cables. They're wired for that. We felt that we didn't really have the fleet management manpower to really deal with that level of detailed data and react to it. It's on my radar certainly for what I'm thinking about doing in the future. But we are looking to go to, is there another slide, Andres, for a future?
Yes.
Why don't you flick to that? We've got 2 more.
Really quick, just talk about how unique your status loop is.
Yeah, I don't know if you can actually see the resolution. This is our main site. Why don't you zoom in one more click, Andres? I'll just show you that because it's really, with Andres' help, we really dialed in. And then show me the gate a little bit, Andres, where they come in. So move me that way a little bit. If you can discern the different geofences, this is a gate where our trucks come in and out. And so that's our arrived plant. They literally drive down and then come back in just a touch, Andres. Well, our main plant is right here in this area here. So that's our at plant area. And then literally, this is the beginning of our haul road. So when they do that drive, they cut right across. And if you just hover over that geofence, look, see this guy taking a nap right now. So this is the dimension. So this is the actual dimension. So we've really layered on, I think up to 6 geofences on top of each other. One that's for our asphalt plant, one that's for our quarry. We've got clock-in area geofences that upon clocking automatically move the driver into pre-trip. And those were the things we figured out after we got going a little bit. We're okay, well, we have this problem, we're tripping over geofences back and forth.
But also, it was very, working with Joe was very unique. It was just, he wanted it to be very automated, right? He didn't want the driver to interact with the system. So what we did is, we created all these geofences. Every geofence will give them a different status automatically. But he'll go in the car or send somebody inside the car and we'll test them. We'll go in and out the whole day. We'll go in and out and then say, okay, we need to adjust this, we need to adjust this. And then finally we had, everything was automated in the system based on the geofence. Clock in, pre-trip, app plan, the washing racks, the loading, the leftover concrete, and it was done all through geofencing. So I just sat there with them and said, okay, let's create a geofence that gives us this, and then it'll give us that information automatically. So it's all based on how you want to implement the system, what you're looking for, right? And you want to set a status loop that's very basic, that's going to get you the information for the integration piece. When we start adding too many statuses, and I told Joe, because he wanted this and this and this, and I said, Joe, there's too many statuses, and what's going to happen is the driver's going to get mad, because like Mark said, it's something new inside the truck. It's something that's not, the driver doesn't want to use it all the time. So we have to make it easier for the driver to actually use the system. So we have to get their buy-in. So we have to automate the system so that we can get that. So we started automating it through the geofencing. And it was great working with Joe because, I mean, he was, for the project, he wanted, we would test everything out. And then, like he said, he'll send a newsletter out. Now we have a new status in, a new status loop, right? And he'll give it to the driver. This is how it works. This is what's going to come to you. And he'll say, on Friday, we'll have a new status loop. So the driver was aware of everything that was happening step by step. So, and there was a lot of communication. There's a lot of communication. We were testing things out. We were working together, which made the project successful. So that's the important piece is, I know there's a lot of things that everybody wants within your company, but really what is the need and how do you make it easy for that driver and internally too. So that's something that we did that was very unique was through geofencing.
And there's another key factor that you spoke about, obviously the communication between you and Joe is crucial, Joe and Mark, but for me, it's a process, it's new, so you gotta look at it as if you're a driver, right? You gotta look through their eyes. And I think any type of software, especially this, actually it's an opportunity for you to have better communication with your drivers. And we have a driver supervisor, and when we get back, Joe's gonna put together a Word document stating that, from now on, this button's gonna be automatic. Rather than do it, you gotta realize, even though there's no alternative mode of the reception is if you're a driver, all they did is slow down for a reason. So there's a fear. So I'm the type of person I like to slow it down. Let's get a letter up there. Let's have a driver meeting and tell them this is what's gonna happen on this day. And as the end of the year approaches, and I don't want to sound sexist for saying this, but this is going to be your paycheck. This will be your time card. So, you might have a couple of drivers that go home to their significant others and say, oh, this company, they're making me get buttons for this, and this is ridiculous. So I always sit back and say, well, if you send home a letter in their paycheck, you mail it, and mama bear opens the letter, and then reads, like, this is your time card. All this stuff you've been telling me, you clearly spelled out. This isn't what you said. Then I realized I have a driver supervisor at home. So if you extend that to their family, you're creating a culture that you're actually trying to help them. And Charlie employs us, so he puts food on the table. You'd be amazed at how many people, you might not switch them all, you're gonna have, everyone has pirates to pick on. But they can never say that they didn't communicate with someone all the way through, and that way it's all boxed up. I think that's really crucial in the whole thing, is to have meetings, talk about it, include the drivers, get feedback. What Joe and Mark found out with this missing loophole is, rather than say, oh, do it, I'm going to have a letter together with the driver supervisor that says, thank you guys. All your input stating that these buttons don't work, we now fix them, we get them automatic for you, now you don't have to hit any buttons. So I use it as an opportunity always we do. So I just think when you do that, there's an old saying, you get what you ask for, you might get it.
Yeah.
Well, it's all automatic now because you didn't want to hit the buttons. So.
That's a good point, brings up an excellent point, because we, with some of our guys is, I don't think you can ever over-communicate. I talk a lot, I know that. But the point is well taken, because you send that information home in a paycheck, and like they actually see it. And I don't think a month goes by in the past 3 years where we haven't done a posting in the trailer, an update, a bulletin, something in their paycheck. Wayne, an excellent segue. This is really where we're going. We've got a couple of minutes left. Just, getting where we are today, but, my job is really what's next and how to balance the investment that I fortunately don't have a problem with the owner, but then aligning what the technology can do for us with how that meets the business need. And that's kind of my role, and I think I've added 10 things to the list in the last couple of days being at the conference. As I said, we have delayed for 2 years payroll integration. We're going live December 26th. Mark's got the job of approving time, and we've trained and trained and trained. 5 Cubits was just fantastic with helping us understand the best way to do our custom payroll export. How many people are actually exporting driver data to payroll?
We're in the process of doing that.
Did you people who've done it have any challenges? Did it go pretty well? We've locked this down. We've been working towards this for 2 years. It's almost we're at like a penultimate stage of getting it right, and as Andre said, we're testing and testing and testing. So we're going live. We actually chose to change our payroll services provider to move to ADP, who had more robust systems that could support the payroll export and help us with automating prevailing wage, which was huge, which will be huge for us. Managing weekly hours of service, we're very busy right now, fortunately. Mark gets a message if a driver's approaching his 60 hours for the week. Wayne's able to tell the customer, I can do a Saturday pour, but it's got to be this day. And we poured, what did we pour in Somerville that day? 1,400 yards on Saturday, and kept all the drivers under their weekly hours of service. So we've been using that. This PW prevailing wage thing, as I said, we're 80-85% hit rate on our geofences, so we're relying on that to trigger the beginning of when the prevailing wage gross up starts and when it ends upon the arrive job and depart job status, which is the law. It's Massachusetts law. Again, Mark's going to be approving time. We've got to figure out how to deal with non-driver time. In the winter, we keep 5 or 10 guys on who are working around the plant or working around the garage, and they don't have a tablet to log into, and they're not driving a truck. We looked at a couple of ways in the workshop that other companies are doing that currently. Our way is going to be Mark's going to track those guys and manually enter their hours into the weekly time. Easy. Trackable, auditable for the drivers. And again, I think that type of decision is a good example of, you could try to make it convoluted in technology, or Mark can keep track of it on a spreadsheet and enter it manually. So I am more keen to that. We're also planning to use the full PTO suite, so all of paid time off. For people who are doing payroll, you're also using paid time off, vacation and sick. We aspire to do that. I think that would be very helpful for Mark and Wayne in the dispatch office to manage driver vacation time. We can only have 2 or 3 drivers out in the summer a week, so unfortunately not everybody can take vacation the week before 4th of July. Right now, it's literally the old way, I think, with an old construction calendar and a Sharpie on the wall in dispatch. So again, aligning what the technology can do to help us. And as Wade said, look, there's a letter going out and starting January or starting December 26th. When you clock into the device, that's how you get paid. Our drivers right now for the last 2 years drive their car into the trailer, swipe a time clock, get their stuff together, start the truck, and then clock in. So there's that 4 or 5 minute, 10-minute gap that we're paying them for. So there'll be efficiencies with that. We're hyper conscious of changing the way a driver's paycheck looks like, which it will change. Mark and our payroll HR manager, Melissa, are going to have a line of drivers out there doing it. All of this payroll transition was very purposely aligned to go live in January 1st, so that we do still stay open, all familiar with snow and cold weather in Boston, but we do deliver probably 20,000 yards of concrete in January, February, and March every year. But it gives us a good opportunity to actually kick the tires with payroll, make some adjustments so that we have those 3 months to perfect it. So when we come out, in March or April, we've got this thing locked down and we're ready to go. Again, thank you very much. It was really, really great to see this many people turn. I didn't expect it.